Hey man, sorry for the delay on this, but we're finally ready to record here. So I'm gonna go through each of these shots. I'm gonna kind of detail to you what I find to be like important to be thinking about, the way I approach these, and yeah, it will be helpful. So on this first shot here, what's really important is our timing of our second jump and how much momentum we come into the ball with. So if I'm pushing into this ball too aggressively, what actually happens is I'm going to hit it way too far forward in front of me, and now this isn't really realistic to actually ever score in game because I'm using 80 boosts or something like that just to even go back to the ball. So we're going to have to get a touch that we can keep close and light and actually be able to make a play on. And what that often is going to be is it needs to be a touch that goes higher rather than forward. So I'm going to use that second jump to continue my momentum into the ball, and that's a really nice one that I just did there. It can be a bit higher like this as well. But yeah, it's really important that you're making sure that your second jump propels you through the ball, that your contact is that second jump, and then you're boosting immediately after through it so that the ball doesn't, recoil you backwards, which I'm sure has happened too many times. So this is what like really good first touches will look like on this, and that will be helpful. Next on shot 2 here, this is one we're going to want to turn into an air dribble or a ceiling shot. Both are fine. So for an air dribble, on this one, what you have to be thinking about, because it's coming off the wall a little bit, right? Our timing on our jump has to be pretty good. So what I'm doing on this, and this is kind of the ideal first touch on this one, I'll let this one play. What I'm doing here is I'm just lightly, it's really important that you tap X real lightly coming off the wall, and that way you're going to get that soft first touch. As well as, if you'll notice, the angle coming up from behind it, you can't be too underneath it or else you're not going to be able to get it forward on net. So you need to come up behind it, and you notice I'm also coming up behind it slowly. I'm not trying to rush it or like bring it towards the net quick. I'm coming up, I'm braking, I'm really slowing down, I'm just trying to get that soft first touch. That's pretty ideal there. On this third one, what we're trying to focus on is a single jump on this. So when the ball is low to the ground like this, and you're not gonna be able to like double jump pop this high, it just doesn't work. You're not able to get that second touch with a double jump. You're wanting to actually come into this slowly and then get a very soft first touch so that it'll stay close to you, because this one's really easy to send forward like this if you have too much momentum. So you need to really come up to it slowly, single jump, and now we're in a position where we could be air dribbling it. And notice again, I'm hitting X very lightly. And on this one especially, this is a really nice one to try flip resetting quite a bit, because it's hard for a defender to defend a flip reset in a spot like this when it's this low to the ground. Because they're just going to have a hard time jumping at you because you're able to flip reset over them so often. In terms of air dribbling it, if you wanted to air dribble it, you want to make sure you get some early height. So messed up. And make sure you get some early height, or else you're going to get dunked a lot on this one. So early height and going for a double is probably how you want to approach that shot if you're going to air dribble. On this one, really important that you break and get around the side of the ball. So you'll notice what I'm not doing is this, and like trying to time it like this and then getting around it. Even though I can, it's not like practical for in game. What you need to do is go around it, break, and then again, same thing with the first shot. You need to time your double jump to be getting your momentum through the ball. So again, here, I'm slow underneath it, and then I'm double jumping, using that second jump to propel myself through the ball and bring the ball upwards. And on this one again, you want to focus more on getting it high than getting it forward. Because if you focus on getting it forward, you're just going to end up with a ball that you can't control like this. So you want to make sure you're prioritizing height, you're slowing down, and using that double jump pop to get the momentum. Same thing as the first one. On this chip one, you really want to prioritize hitting it off the corner of your car so that it gets height. So here, and height and direction, I should say, because if you just do it forward like that, it's just going to go left. So I'm going to aim my right corner towards the net, and then I'm going to double jump at it. That was actually bad. Jeez, not warmed up. Sorry for that. But yeah, you want to double jump up to this one quickly. Obviously, when you're chipping it like this, you're not going to actually be able to get that second jump unless it's like that, which also works. But you really just want to make sure you're getting back to this one quickly, because if you do this in game and you don't, you're just going to get hard dunked. So getting up to this quickly and then trying to get a really first soft touch is important. The way you do get a first soft touch is you kind of have to air roll away from the ball, and slow down as you come up to it. So like the jumping early part will scare defenders, and then you can slow down as you approach it. And you'll notice as I jump up to it, the way I'm air rolling, I'm making sure that I'm rolling away, my nose away from the ball to start so that I can get a light touch. Because if I wanted to get a hard touch, I'd want to hit it with my nose. But I'm rolling away from it and slowing down so that I can get a light touch. On this one, this is a really one you can get really creative with. You can try to turn it into an air dribble like this, where you get that really soft first touch. Same thing conceptually as what I just talked about. I'm trying to roll away from it and slowing down to get that really light touch. I'm really not trying to hit it hard with my nose, and you'll get a result like that. Now, you could also turn this into a double off the ceiling. Oops. So you could try to hit this into the ceiling and then let it come down and then follow it. That's a really nice one, especially if you see a defender in game like waiting in net. They're going to feel compelled to jump at a certain point, and then you try to hit it over them once they do. You could also, if you hit this off the ceiling, try to turn it into an air dribble. That one's much harder, obviously, but it's kind of fun to do so. Or you could try to go for a flip reset on the first touch. Wow, I didn't get it. That's weird. You can try to go for a flip reset on the first touch like this, and then try to do something with it. And that's also a viable option. But yeah, you want to focus on really light first touches on this one. This one, honestly, you can pretty much ignore this one in the pack. I don't find it to be that useful, because the only real useful part is sometimes you can air dribble this if notice someone's zero momentum back post, and you could try to go for it like this, but like, it's not really that useful. On this one, again, we're going to be doing slowing down before we get to the ball to make sure we get that light first touch and that we can actually have space to work with. Because if we just come up here with full momentum, like, I mean, you could try to turn this into a ceiling shot, but you're going to have to hit it pretty hard, and it's kind of hard to gauge. So I don't really recommend doing that on this ball. I think the best play is to slow down here, get that light first touch like we talked about with the light tap of X on the single jump, and then you can turn this into what you want. But yeah, slow down, get some flip resets maybe. In terms of getting flip resets, just kind of cover that quickly. You really want to make sure you're forcing the bottom of your cart into the ball, so that you can bounce off it and actually use it. If you let the ball fall onto you, like I'm about to do, if you let it just fall onto you, you're actually going to get like no useful flip or no flip at all. You want to make sure that once you're upside down and want the flip, you attack the ball like this. I don't think I got it. Oh, I did. You attack the ball with the back of your car so that you actually bounce off it and have room to work with your flip. Here's another chip shot. Same thing as the other one. I'm aiming the corner of my car at the net through the ball, and then I'm getting very light touches to start. On this one, because it's such lower momentum, you can actually time that second jump with it more consistently, which is what you want to do. So you want to, again, use that second jump to propel yourself into the ball and through it so that you can keep momentum. As well as, you know, so that the ball doesn't like hit you down. You're going with the ball, matching its pace. This is a good way to turn into a ceiling shot. I really like doing it this way. It's at the right speed where you can just tap it, and then bring it up the wall, and then, you know, you can like double it off the ground or something, or you can go for a straight shot. Oops, I got stuck to the ceiling. But yeah, this is a nice way to turn into a ceiling shot if you want. But you could also just turn this into an air dribble, and it's the same thing conceptually as other ones. You have to hit your X button light, and you have to make sure that you're not making it too easy on defenders by hitting it forward too fast. As well as on ones like these, when they're a bit higher up, you do have a bit more room to work with. And often these are ones you can just air dribble to like to the sides of the net easily. But again, like when I'm jumping off the wall here and I'm spinning off, I'm almost always, not almost always, I am always going right into a tornado spin. Get underneath the ball, and then once I'm underneath the ball, I'm not tornado spinning anymore. So here, tornado spin. Okay, I'm underneath the ball. I'm going to level out my nose, and now I'm not tornado spinning anymore. This shot's really fun, actually. So I actually did it super ideally on this first one. So I'll let you see the first touches again. What I'm doing on this one is I'm jumping up, and you see how I roll my nose away from the ball and kind of dip it back a little bit? That is to make sure that my first touch is really light. Because if I go too aggressive on this, or like, you know, I just jump up and hit with my nose, it's kind of, wow, it's actually really good, but it's really hard to control. Usually that's not the way you want to do it. want to do it by kind of rolling softly your nose away, and so that you can keep it controlled. And you also want to focus on, you'll notice that I'm double jumping super quick to get up to this, but it's not affecting my ability to get a light touch. It's because of the way I'm air rolling. And it's really important to get up to this ball quick, because if you do a lot of waiting, it becomes really hard to actually control, or like jumping and then try to like time to get that second jump just won't work. You should jump at this, double jump at this right away. And again, the less forward you hit it, the better, because the harder you're gonna be to challenge in game. This is another one I actually really like, a ceiling shot. I also really like flip resetting this close to the net, because oftentimes air dribbles get defended too easy because they just go up backboard and dunk you. So these are spots I think flip resetting is even more important to practice. And then yeah, in this one specifically, I'd probably just stick to ceiling shots and flip resetting. I think those two are the most effective options in game. You know, you could mix in some air dribbles too. So yeah, that should be just actually, it was not quick. That was much longer than I anticipated, but that should be an explanation for how that all works. Let me know if that was valuable, and hit me with any questions if you have them. I'll see you later.